We've been asked the question is, why did we start Coldcubed? And I think, apart from the lunch we were enjoying at the time, Malcolm and I, the whole question is how do we actually show people something that's invisible? How do we make it come alive? Because those of us that spend a long, long time in dealing with cold chain, it's easy to understand it because it became part of our culture. But other people don't know. And how do we make it visible? I think that was the central thing.
That was the central time. Yeah, and also it was two things for me: long career in that field with fresh produce and the cold chain, and two, thinking, well, how can we best share the knowledge?
Yeah, and it was interesting. At Woolworths, I learned the understanding of how much money is in when cold chain fails you, when things go wrong.
Yeah.
Either in the DC or in the truck or on the store shelf. The moment it goes wrong, it's money. There's always a percentage of waste. And I think in the modern times we live in now, from a sustainability point of view, it's all wrong.
But in addition to that, the cash flow of the business is affected because they don't have product on the shelves, because they've lost that.
There's nothing to sell.
So it's a combination of things. It's a double loss in a sense.
So in the early days, something like lettuce would have been very dependent on cold chain. And if you lose the lettuce, you don't have any lettuce to sell. And that could affect what we call basket drop. I'll go buy somewhere else.
Yes.
Drop the basket and off you go.
And to that point of lettuce, if you go into a Checkers store, you will see a display cabinet, refrigerated one with doors on it, and it has exclusively lettuce in it. And the reason for that is the boss of Checkers,
at the time,
whose name escapes me, but maybe you'll remember, his wife complained she could never get decent lettuce. And so the wisdom was, we've got to have special cabinets for the lettuce.
Yeah. And it worked. The business.
Whitey Basson. That's Whitey Basson's wife. Yeah. That's correct. Yes, that's correct. He lives down the road now.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's kind of how we started.
Yeah. And I think.
Sorry, Carrie.
There you go.
Johan, having had the experience with Woolworths, and subsequently Woolworths asked for a whole audit of their cold supply chain.
Yes.
Which that work got passed to me, and we brought another two guys in, and we presented it to them, but their cold chain was pretty robust.
Yeah.
But when we did it for other, are we allowed to name the supermarkets?
No, rather not.
Okay. Other supermarkets, their cold chains were not nearly as good. And that's where we got the opportunity to work with them and install a system with one of them, our system with one of them.
Yeah. And, it's been 10 years. And it's been really interesting the value that people have gained out of those, what we call live dashboards. Because it gives insight, and it also gives the opportunity within the businesses, retail specifically, for the little people to get involved. Because everyone can see the dashboard, everyone can read the dashboard, and therefore they all have a different but similar understanding of impact.
Data to information.
Absolutely. And I think the key thing was that we tried to address the client, meaning we customized the dashboard to what their understanding is. We used the words that they used for the different parts of their distribution centers and the supply chain, and they could relate to it at the time. And this is something we still do today. Is every client we treat uniquely and make this dashboard theirs, not ours. We just a tool.
Yeah, and to the point about using it in the operations to whom we've sold the concept. In their operations room, there will be a monitor hanging up high with the dashboard on it, live, real time, which they refer to.
And the reason why we know they're using it is because when it stops working, we get that phone call immediately. So they place a value on it now, being part of the way they actually manage their operations. And I suppose it's a way of holding people accountable.
Yeah.
Because everybody sees the same dashboard, so there's no hiding here. You know, it's not
Proactive
work.
management too.
Proactive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
So it is, and that's what we intended. You know, I think the question you can ask, why did it take 10 years?
Well, why did it take 10 years? Because often the people who can see the real benefit from it, somebody higher up in the organization. And invariably, those people are accountants, and all they see is numbers. They don't see rotten, fresh produce.
Yeah.
And so it's a very hard sell for them.
Or they don't see the linkages between
Yeah.
the waste that they have
And
the
their
cold chain they're managing.
and their bottom line.
Yeah.